Hi, I'm Voss Edelin. I am the founder of Lacy.ai. If you're not already aware, Lacy.ai is the leading AI phone agent platform that turns ordinary phone lines into intelligent conversation hubs. And in today's video, I'm going to walk us through the steps to build your first AI phone agent. We're going to build a BDR that is calling into the hospitality industry, like hotels, restaurants, and resorts. And its goal is to identify who the hiring manager or general manager is, and then collect their contact information, like first name, last name, email, phone, title, and then turn all of that unstructured data into actionable structured data that you can then push into your sales pipeline, marketing workflows, automations, spreadsheets, CRMs, systems, etc. So let's begin the build. If you're already logged into the platform, click on Assistants. Because we're building this assistant from scratch, click on New Assistant. Now, on the configuration page, you have three areas that we want to stay mindful of. We have basic, which is basic information about the assistant. We have prompt and tools. This is where you're going to configure the objective of the assistant. And we have post call actions. This is where you're going to assign what data is extracted from every call. We're going to start with in general. So, as you're building out your AI phone agent, first determine if your agent is going to receive phone calls or make phone calls. In this example, we're going to make phone calls. Then we're going to give the assistant a name. We'll call this BDR. And we're going to assign a phone number. If you have rented phone numbers, then all of your available phone numbers will appear here as a drop down option. If you have yet to rent a number, go to the left side navigation bar and scroll down to Get New Phone Number. From there, rent a phone number, and then you can assign that number to your AI agent. This is how you're going to power your agent to make and receive calls. Next, we have engine type. You have three that you can choose from. You have pipeline, which is a pipeline of speech to text, LLM, plus text to speech to generate responses. Then you also have speech to speech, which uses native speech to speech for generation, or excuse me, for generating responses. And then you also have dualplex. Dualplex is a combination of both pipeline and speech to speech. And this is how your AI agent is going to converse back and forth with your caller. So in today's example, we'll keep it as pipeline. Now we are going to assign a language for the AI agent. So the primary language for this agent will be English. Additionally, we can assign a secondary language to the agent. In this example, we'll give it Spanish. And how this works is the AI agent is automatically going to start every conversation in English. If it detects that Spanish is the preferred spoken language from the caller, then it will transition into Spanish seamlessly and in real time. Next, we are going to assign a AI voice to our agent. All of our voices are powered by 11 Labs, so high quality and professionalism is going to be top of mind. I personally like Heather Ray, so we are going to select her. And now we're going to give the agent a time zone. We'll give it the New York time zone. Here you can either choose to have background noise or no background noise in the calls. We're going to remove the background noise. Under advanced settings, you can select from multiple LLM models. We have OpenAPI GPT, we have Meta's Llama, we have Google's Gemini, and a recent update, we now have Claude. I am going to keep ChatGPT 4.1 Mini as my LLM. Under the LLM temperature, we are going to make this agent more stable or more random. I'm going to put it right here at 50. So this way it has somewhat of a unique personality, but stays within the guardrails and guidelines that we set for it. We're also going to allow interruptions so the caller is able to interrupt the AI by overspeaking it. Now, under duration settings, these are the parameters that you're going to build around every phone call. How long should a phone call last? How long should there be silence on the call before the AI agent ends the call? So, under re engagement interval, the AI will try to re engage the user if no reply is detected within this time frame. Under max call duration, currently it's at 600 seconds, and the call will automatically end if this value is reached. Under max silence duration, calls will end if a user doesn't reply within this time. And then ringing time. This is the time duration that all calls will last for X amount of rings. Here, you can either disable or enable noise cancellation, in call and voicemail, or record calls. For recording calls, make sure you've done your due diligence in regards to whether or not a particular state or jurisdiction allows you to record a call. Under the next settings, we're going to look at voice stability. So this is going to give the agent a more expressive tone or a more stable tone. We're going to leave it at 0.70. Under voice similarity, this is also more stable or more similar to the AI agent voice through Power Labs. And how similar is it going to sound to that voice? We'll leave it at 50 as well. The speech speed. The speech speed is exactly how it sounds. How fast should the AI agent speak during the call? We're going to leave it at 1. These are default numbers. From here, you can adjust your agent based on your needs, your requirements, and how you want to align with your brand. Under the transcriber settings, you can select a provided transcriber. This is how your calls are going to be written or transcribed after each and every call. Under the endpoint type, you have AI turn detection and you have voice activity detection. I would leave it as voice activity detection. And then I would update or adjust the endpoint sensitivity for here as well as the interrupt sensitivity. So for the endpoint sensitivity, I'm going to give it 1.10. And for the interrupt sensitivity, I'm also going to give it 1.10. Basically, this is telling the AI agent to wait just a little over a second before it starts to re-engage or respond back to the caller. The scenario is if the agent is answering a question from the caller or the caller is answering a question from the agent, it gives both of them time to respond and communicate before one is interrupting. Once you have created these settings, you are then going to go to the top of the page and you're going to click on Create Assistant so we don't lose any of our work. Now we're going to go to Prompt and Tools. If you have already uploaded a knowledge base consisting of your products, your services, company information, policies, etc., then you can assign a knowledge base here. From here, you can either do a function call or a prompt injection. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to want to leave function call. But because we don't have a knowledge base associated, it's not going to allow us to select on function call. The custom mid-call tools. You can assign or create a custom mid-call tool from here. An example would be if you want to connect your CRM system and the AI agent is either making outbound or inbound calls and it recognizes the telephone number as a contact record within your CRM. So, for an example, if it's an incoming call, the AI agent is able to recognize the caller ID. It can associate that number to a contact record in your CRM and then instantly personalize the conversation the moment it picks up the call. So instead of saying, hello, you've reached ABC Company, it's, hi, Tom, thanks for calling ABC. Additionally, it can look at history notes within that contact record. So maybe you want to pick up the conversation from where the call last ended. Maybe it was around more information around a product or a service. So for that example, it would be, "Hi, Tom. Thanks for calling ABC Company. Are you still interested in?" And then the AI agent can go from there. Under default tools, you have four options you can choose from: multi-call transfer, in-call, DTMF input, or you can actually connect your calendar so the agent can book appointments on your calendar. For mid-call transfer, the process is really quite simple. Under here, you are going to assign a telephone number for the AI agent to do a live transfer. Here, under when to transfer, you can assign parameters or rules on when the AI agent should transfer a call. An example might be speak with an operator, speak with the front desk. The AI agent is then going to transfer the call to this number that you've associated. Next, we can also end a call. So here, you are going to give the agent parameters on when to end a call. Under the DTMF input, here, this is where the AI agent is able to interface with an IVR system. So for an example, if you want to reach the front desk or the front lobby, you can put instructions or parameters here that says when the IVR system states press 0 for the front desk, the AI agent is then going to digitally push 0 on the call, automatically making it transferred to the front desk. And then the appointment scheduling. Here you can associate your existing calendars through either cal.com or through Go High Level. Cal.com, Go High Level, especially cal.com, acts as a bridge and it can connect to your other calendars. So let's say, for an example, you are working in Outlook or you're working in Google Calendar. Utilizing Cal, you're going to connect those calendars into your cal.com instance. You're going to assign it parameters. And then basically there will be a bi-directional two-way sync for the AI agent in your calendar. So if a caller wants to schedule an appointment, the AI agent can look at your availability in real time, share it with the caller when you don't have availability. So if the caller asks for Friday at 10 a.m. and you already have something booked, it's going to politely suggest that you should move on to a different time, and then offer the most earliest time in your calendar. Now, the next step is to create call variables. So the agent is able to define variables that can be passed before making calls. So for an example, it would be the customer name, and the default would be John. If you don't want John as the default, then erase John as the default. But you can additionally program your initial message or your system prompt with these variables so the AI agent can follow those parameters throughout a call. Quick tip in regards to the call variables. This does need to be lowercase. All words need to have a underscore between them. The max is 16 characters. Now, who speaks first? The AI assistant can be assigned to speak first, and you can associate an initial message if the AI agent is answering calls or if the customer is speaking first. Excuse me. In this particular case, the customer will be speaking first since we are reaching out to hotels, resorts, and restaurants. And now we want to assign or create a system prompt to this AI agent. The system prompt, we have already created one here as an example. Yes, the system prompt is basically the instructions that you are giving the AI agent. How does the AI agent respond, behave, or act per your requirements and your parameters? In this example, again, it is a BDR agent reaching out to hotels, restaurants, and resorts with the goal of trying to collect and identify who the general manager or hiring manager is. And from here, we can instruct the agent on how it's going to initiate the call after it hears its hello. In this particular scenario, we are getting the agent to share with the caller that they want to submit a resume to the hiring manager, and if they can have the hiring manager's information, contact information. From there, they're collecting the information. If there's pushback, they've been assigned different rebuttals on how to engage that pushback, and also how to appropriately and pleasantly end the call once it has gathered the contact information. Now, something to note about the system prompt. The system prompt is going to be unique per your use case. It's going to be unique per your AI phone agent. The system prompt is basically you giving instructions to a colleague on how you want them to perform a task. The more detailed you are, the more the system prompt or the agent is going to act per your system prompt. Food for thought. Excuse me. Now we're going to move to post-call actions. Here we are going to define what values we actually want to pull and extract from the call. So for an example, we want to collect the first name, and the type is going to be a string, and the description is collect the hiring manager's first name. Now, additional variable, last name would be too easy, so let's just do phone number. This is also going to be a string. However, you could assign number to it. And the description here is going to be collect the hiring manager's phone number. Now, from here, we can disable or enable webhooks. Again, if you need a webhook to push this data somewhere, we have over 250 applications and native integrations. So most likely you're able to use our automation platform to make this entire flow seamless and push this data within an existing app. But if you find or discover that we do not have a native app within our automation platform, then you can either use our APIs or webhooks in order to push data to your systems for a seamless process. Once you have done all of this, then we are going to go back and save our assistant. Now, I do want to make a quick note in regards to variables. It's quite important to remember that these are the variables that you are trying to extract from a call, and you will only be able to extract the variables that you have listed here. So you can add as many variables as you need throughout the process. Now, once you have built out your AI phone agent, you can test the assistant or agent by live chat, or you can speak to your assistant or AI agent through a web call. If you click on the web call, you're going to get a window that pops up, and then you can start a conversation here. If you've already connected your calendar, then under a web call, you will have to give the AI agent the international telephone number format. So for an example, in America, it would be +1 area code, then the rest of your telephone number. If you fall short of giving it the international format within the web call, then the AI phone agent will not complete the entire automation that you may have already scheduled or configured, or be able to look at your calendar to look for availability or be able to book appointments. Under phone call, that is not the issue. You can still give it a phone number as you normally would, area code, then your number. Additionally, you can copy a public demo link and share it with your team for them to test out. You can also embed a voice widget on your website. Now, what we are going to do here is we are then going to stand up a campaign. Because we know that we want this AI agent to make outbound phone calls, we are going to then create a new campaign. We're going to give this campaign a name. We're going to call it BDR Hotel Outreach. We'll do 3 calls in parallel. The assistant that we are going to assign to this campaign is going to be BDR. The time zone is already New York. We can configure the allowed hours for the AI agent to make outbound calls. We're at currently 12 a.m., but let's say we want this to be 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We don't want Saturday or Sunday. Max retries. How many retries do you want the AI agent to make to that telephone number or the contact if that contact doesn't engage on the first call or the call goes to voicemail? So we could do 3, we could do 5, etc. And now we can do retry intervals. What is the frequency the AI agent will reach out to that contact or that number? Is it every 60 minutes or do we want to do it in days or hours, etc.? You can retry until goal is completed, or you can retry on voicemail. Then you can also, we are going to cancel and we want to save. Excuse me, let's create that campaign. Then you would go into leads and you would import leads. Here you can import a CSV file, and it's important to make sure that your headers are assigned accordingly. The headers should always be very similar to the variables. Lowercase first underscore name, or lowercase last underscore name, or lowercase phone underscore number. You are going to want headers like that in order to upload into our system. Additionally, when you are uploading telephone numbers, it is quite important to make sure that you have the international format in order for our system to accept the upload. So again, a phone number should be formatted with the +1 area code and the rest of your number. Once you've done that, you can assign those leads to a particular campaign. So this way you know that the AI agent is assigned to that campaign and those contacts are assigned to the campaign, which will be contacted by that AI agent. That is the initial steps to creating your first AI phone agent. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can always go into Automate Platform. And this is where you can stand up an automation from scratch. An automation could be multiple things: scheduling an appointment on a calendar, sending or triggering an SMS message. Maybe it's enriching your CRM system or where you're currently gathering and collecting data from, like Apollo. So if you have questions, please let me know. But this is the general idea on how to build out your very first AI phone agent. Thank you for watching.